Hey guys, how's it going? In the van, headed to an important place, I think. Seeing as though I live in Michigan and I'm driving around all sorts of different places around the world, especially in the north, when I go up into Canada and stuff, rust, especially in these Fords, is sort of a big deal. So I'm getting the undercoating done. This company does an oil-based undercoating, which supposedly is like a penetrating undercoating that gets into all the nooks and crannies underneath the van and builds a barrier between even the existing rust and the outside. So it's supposed to be a better form of undercoating. A lot of times when people do undercoating, they will spray like Z-Bart or whatever, will spray like a rubberized coating. It's thick, but that rubberized coating can sort of crack and leave gaps, and those allow air to get in. Whereas this undercoating is sort of like always somewhat liquefied, and so it fills in all those gaps and creates like a really impenetrable layer. It's something you should probably do every year. I found a place that's going to do it. They said $170. I hope $170. That would be nice.
He's half my size, so he'll get under there and do it.
And it's okay that it's a little, it's been a rainy day, and
oh yeah, our oil's very
oil
aggressive.
just sort of gets underneath everything.
It'll go right through it. It'll go through 1/4 inch of mud.
Really?
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna drill a hole like down here.
Okay.
And we're gonna fill that whole door with hot oil.
Okay. Inside these doors, I have wool. These doors are packed chock full of wool, just to let you know.
We hate the wool.
The wool?
Yeah.
Well, these are full of wool, top to bottom.
I know.
So I don't even know if you can really do the doors.
Yeah, you're gonna wanna.
Okay.
Because that wool, why we hate it, it traps moisture. Like I had yesterday, perfect example. We had a like an older, like a 20-year-old Jeep Commander.
Yeah.
And it was in really clean condition. And then you open the back door, and the one friggin' door, I don't know why, was just so filled with wool all the way up into the quarter panel even. I've never seen that before.
Really?
I've done thousands of vehicles. And that's the only place he had rust.
I've got
and
a lot of
all rusted out.
Really? So the wool was holding on to the water?
Yeah.
I thought wool wicks water, doesn't it?
But it doesn't.
Not in that case, I guess.
No, it's fibrous. Anything fibrous, even if it's wicking,
it'll still hold it.
Hold it, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm gonna drive her around.
Okay.
If you're going back here, if you don't mind giving that to my wife.
Sure.
Thank you.
He thinks it'll fit.
Okay.
He thinks it'll fit.
Okay.
I think this is the first time I've had somebody else driving the van since it's been like worked on. How did you start?
Yep, I was working. I went to a gas station and I saw this guy who was like a 92 Silverado, an old CK100 or something with all the bright work, just beautiful. And I was like, wow, what is that, from down south? He's like, no, it's a Michigan truck. I've had it here my whole life. It's got 338,000 miles on it. I said, how is it so clean?
Yeah.
And he said, since the day I got it, I took it over to Windsor in Canada and I had it oiled at this place called Krown. I'm like, oiled?
Oiled? Yeah.
So I said, what does that mean? He's like, oh, just go look at their website. They just spray oil all over the truck and it keeps it from rusting. I'm like, okay, so I looked at it. I researched the hell out of it with my OCD personality, and I couldn't find a single bad word about Krown.
Yeah.
And the more I research, and even to this day, I worked for corporate for Krown as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I owned a shop and worked for corporate.
You're like the hair club for men guy.
Yeah.
I'm not only I'm involved in the company itself. That's cool.
I never get an undercarriage wash ever.
Right.
Not unless it's muddy.
Can you explain what is the difference between a typical undercoating and like the rubberized?
Right. A typical undercoating is a coating.
Yeah.
So we don't do coatings. We don't consider what we do a coating. It's just a lightweight oil. We spray it on. It soaks into metal. It's very simple. It's actually the rust-proofing aspect of it is a byproduct. It was developed to maintain, get moisture, displace moisture out of aviation electronics and electrical circuits.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they would spray wiring harnesses and electronics in older, we're talking the 60s, 70s. Keeps moisture out. Moisture is what causes corrosion.
I mean, and the advantage of the oil is that, like an undercoating, a coating will crack.
Yes, it can be compromised.
Yeah.
Compromised.
If some piece of debris from the street comes up and scrapes the undercarriage of your car, that will stay there, that crack. But with this, it's sort of so soft that it ends up
self-heals.
Yeah, self-heals.
Yep, it's just a creeping oil, that's what we call it.
Yeah.
So you spray it, for instance, on a nice warm summer day, you spray a dot that big on a steel door, it's going to be this big the next day.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's incredible how it spreads. So even though we saturate the undercarriage and inside all the body panels, we know we have some bit of leeway, because if we miss a space this big, in an hour it's going to be filled in already.
My van can be a submarine, you know? Oh, look at this. Somebody had some LED strips that they took off. What are those, magnets? That's neat. Does it smell? Will I have a smell in the van for a while?
Not for a while, for a little bit. You'll be able to smell it.
Okay.
Because I spread the exhaust a little bit, you know, not
That'll burn off.
to.
Yeah. This place has provided me an interesting story to tell. I like these kind of shops. Guy has passion for his business, started something up because he saw a need, feel a need, really good at his job. And I'm excited to get this done on the van, man. I think this is going to be really helpful. Oh, that's the cap you just put on?
Oh, yep. I'll wipe it off, don't worry. Make sure I get all the greases I can to get in there.
Oh. What are you doing now then? Just
We're washing all the overspray off.
okay. Thank you so much.
So, just so you know,
Appreciate you, man.
asphalt will stain, concrete will wash away with the weather. Okay? Because it's going to drip.
Yeah.
So, concrete will wash away with the weather, asphalt will stain. Okay.
Okay.
So, don't park it on asphalt.
We have a lot next to my house. I'm parking in there for a couple days.
Perfect.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Keep your windows up for 24 hours. And there's going to be some smoking. That's just due burn off from the exhaust.
It'll burn off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just on the exhaust.
Yeah, cool.
Hitch brakes a couple more times before you hit the main road,
Okay.
and you're all good.
Thank you so much. Really
Awesome.
appreciate it.
Thank
See you
you.
next year.
Yeah. I'll
Have
send
fun
you
in your adventures.
Yeah, totally. Awesome. Thanks so much. That was an extremely pleasant surprise. Sometimes you go to some companies and you'll get people who are maybe a little bit afraid of the camera, even if they're interested, or they're not interested and they're kind of standoffish. Maybe they don't want you to go back and see how the bread is made, how the bread is baked, how the teeth are sharpened. I don't know. What analogy is that? How the French fries are fried, how the M&Ms are coated. I don't know. Whatever. They were super cool. I'm supposed to have some burn off for a while. It'll be a little bit burny, but every year if I do that, should have an undercarriage in very good condition. Thank you, Krown. That was nice.